Inflation is not only a problem in the United States, where prices rose 8.5% year over year in March, as Russia's invasion of Ukraine increasingly snarls supply lines and cuts off access to oil and food exports. Consumers throughout the world are paying substantially higher costs for basic necessities like shelter, food, and gasoline. Elon's tweet yet again made a mark. What does Elon have to say about the hike in prices? Stay tuned to find out. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will look at Musk's remark about the hike in prices. Before we get into the video, don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure that the post notifications are turned on so that you never miss a video from us. Without further ado, let's dive in. Following a wave of higher prices caused by a pandemic, the conflict is now pushing global inflation above 6%. China and India may have to switch to less expensive cooking oil as costs have risen by as much as 70% in some situations. Muslims in Senegal are breaking the Ramadan fast with fish rather than meat, which has grown pricey for many, while Mexico is working with the United States to lower food prices. Meanwhile, gasoline prices in Hong Kong have risen above $10 a gallon, prompting the International Energy Agency to issue a global energy crisis warning. Higher costs are causing political unrest in Europe, ranging from increased support for anti-immigrant populist parties to labor rallies. In the United States, inflation is wreaking havoc in politically split communities, where the midterm elections are expected to be the most divisive. The Biden administration is setting a record quantity of emergency oil from national stockpiles to reduce surging U.S. fuel costs as quickly as possible. But if the stockpile is not replenished swiftly, the scheme might backfire. President Joe Biden said on March 31st that starting in May, the U.S. will sell 180 million barrels of petroleum from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve at a rate of 1 million barrels per day, the largest release from the stockpile since it was established in the 1970s. To keep global prices in check, members of the International Energy Agency (IEA) are releasing an additional 60 million barrels. The decision to sell oil from the SPR rather than work out a loan, sometimes known as an exchange, represented a trade-off. Oil would be supplied to the market more quickly, lowering prices, but replenishing the stockpile to its current level would take longer, heightening longer-term market risks. Some analysts have cautioned that it may cause oil prices to become more volatile. Elon Musk recently urged the globe to drill for more oil, citing rising costs and the possibility of shortages owing to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Coming from someone who is attempting to wean the globe off of oil, it's shocking. But on top of that, Musk and Tesla should be more concerned about nickel prices, which are currently soaring. When it comes to moving the world to electric transportation and sustainable energy, nickel is a vital resource. The cathode of all high-energy density batteries, which are essential for long-range electric vehicles, contains a large proportion of nickel. It makes up a major portion of an electric vehicle's battery pack, which is the most expensive section of the vehicle in terms of both volume and cost. Nickel is, of course, utilized for a variety of purposes other than batteries for electric vehicles. Currently, only around 5% of the world's nickel supply is used for batteries in electric vehicles. But that number is rapidly increasing. Even with modest forecasts of electric vehicle adoption, EV nickel consumption is predicted to rise from 5% to 59% of the total nickel supply within the next decade. If there isn't a significant increase in production shortly, nickel supplies will be severely constrained. Tesla CEO Elon Musk pushed nickel miners to raise production in 2020 because he foresaw a problem. But neither he nor most people foresaw the situation in Ukraine, which is driving up the price of a variety of commodities. Oil is the most evident. Russia is a major producer of oil and gas, and various nations and oil firms have imposed or are considering imposing embargoes on Russian oil, sending the price of a barrel to 14-year highs as supply is projected to be curtailed. Last week, it prompted Musk to urge increased oil and gas drilling throughout the planet. Many of Musk's fans were enraged by this. mistaking it for an anti-clean energy statement, despite Musk's explanation that his opinion stems from his concern that civilization is currently primarily powered by oil and gas. The counter-argument is that the issue is focusing attention on alternatives to oil and gas, which could hasten the change to clean energy, which is Musk's company's main objective. And now, Musk may move his focus to another resource that is being harmed by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, nickel, which he has already expressed worry about. Russia is the world's third largest nickel producer, and the prospect of limiting its imports in an already challenging nickel market drove up prices. Prior to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the price per ton of nickel had already more than doubled in the previous year, but it has risen by more than 80% in the last month, with a substantial increase yesterday. Short sellers rushing to cover their short nickel positions, fearful that Russia's supply would be shut off from the rest of the world, are thought to have prompted the enormous increase. Morgan Stanley estimates that the increased fee alone will add $1,000 to the cost of electric cars like Tesla's. Tesla has taken steps to encourage the production of more nickel, including establishing an offtake agreement with Talon Metal for a new nickel mine in the United States. These offtake agreements help junior mining companies raise financing for the costly process of bringing new mines online. Whatever happens with Russian nickel, many more of these deals and new mines will be needed to meet demand from the electric transition. From homes to companies to power plants, oil, coal, and natural gas power our lives and livelihoods. Renewables are making progress in all of these sectors, and markets should stay open to viable alternative fuels. But at this crucial juncture in history, Musk is spot on in recognizing the necessity for daring new energy exploration and production in an old-fashioned manner. Musk might not even have to pay that much. Teslas were rushing out of virtual internet showrooms even before gas prices soared due to Joe Biden's reckless energy policy. The 2008 gas price surges undoubtedly sparked interest in hybrids and full electric vehicles, but they continued to sell long when gas prices returned to more normal levels. While we are praising Musk for having a well-rounded view on energy policy, it's worth remembering that over the weekend, he gave the world advice on another power source, nuclear. It is now self-evident that Europe should restart dormant nuclear plants and improve the power output of existing ones, he said. And it's not only for the sake of convenience for consumers. This is critical to national and international security, he said. He is once again correct. Nuclear power, formerly derided by the environmentalist left, is gaining popularity as it establishes a track record of safety and cleanliness. Putin's blunder in Ukraine has served as a stark reminder of the merits of an all-hands-on-deck strategy for energy. This is not the moment for zero-sum games, in which oil usage is punished in order to achieve government favoritism for alternative and renewable energy sources. Everyone should be able to park an electric car at home with solar panels on the roof. Americans who like to live in a coal-fired home with a diesel pickup in the garage, on the other hand, have a right to a say in the marketplace. The availability of energy options in our lives should be guided by consumer choice, not by the government. Some of us will continue to be drawn to green energy by convenience and environmental concerns. The degree to which we retain one foot in the world of oil and other fossil fuels will be determined by reliability and a lifelong habitual comfort zone. As if Putin is solely to blame, the Biden administration has attempted to prepare Americans for increased gas costs. Russia's participation in global oil markets has undoubtedly been disrupted by sanctions, but America would be less vulnerable to such risks if we had not decreased domestic output and implemented policies that were clearly punitive to the fossil fuel industry. Elon Musk wants to lead the world into a future in which he can sell as many electric automobiles as possible. If he can see the objective wisdom of bolstering the oil economy at a time when it is clearly needed, perhaps others will see that all of these different types of energy have benefits and drawbacks, and that no single segment of the market should be favored or banished solely on the basis of political win. Did you find this video informative or helpful? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. Don't forget to like and share.